So today this is what I'm going to be making. I hope that you guys will watch all this and I'll show you the process that I use to make it. So here it is and I'll show you how I did it. So I was at an estate sale and found this cute little bench. It is definitely seen better days. The paint or the finish, should I say, is really kind of bad and it's very dirty. The cover is messed up and there's some big gouges in it, but I'm thinking that it'll be a really cute remake. Anyway, so I'm gonna start by taking this top off, unscrewing it, and then I will go ahead and pull the cover off and start with the paint. Anyway, I'll see you in a moment. So this is the back side of the seat and I started pulling the cover off. It's got all these little nails in it, which is not a big deal. I will pull them out. Sometimes if the wood is messed up, I have my husband cut another one from one of these, just using this as a pattern. But it looks like this one's gonna be okay, and I'll pull out all these nails and I'll go ahead and get that painted. Here is the other part, all undone and ready for paint. So there it is, all painted once. It has to dry. I did use a chalk paint for this and I prefer chalk paint. I think it used to be a little bit more popular than it is right now, but I don't have to sand, I don't have to prime, I don't have to do anything. It's got a great finish. It's I'll put the wax on it when I'm done and I just really like the way it turns out. So I used a version of white on this one, and for some reason I always feel like it's easier for me to sit down on the floor on the paint cloth to paint. I'm not moving around, I'm not bending over, I'm just sitting, you know, cross-legged on the floor, and I sometimes do it in my kitchen because it's too hot in Kansas right now. And so I will let this dry, put on a second coat, and then I will start covering the top. So I am back upstairs in my studio space and I have cut a piece of foam. It's quite thick, but it's what I found and sometimes I just make do. So this is the brand and I found it at an estate sale for $1. It had 2 pieces, so this is the second time I've been able to use this. I probably will get a third use out of it. It's going to be quite thick, but once the fabric is pushed down, I think it's going to work good. I did choose to cut a new piece of wood for it. I just felt like it would be nice and sturdy. I did not cut this one, although I could have. My husband did it for me and he cuts this fancy edge, which I wouldn't have done either, but he's a little bit more of a perfectionist than I am. So I am going to lay this here, and then I picked out a piece of my linens because I love to use linens, and I just thought this is going to be so cute on this. And what I will do is I will cut this apart and make sure that these are even on this side, and I will start stapling it on. So I'm pulling up the edges and I'm going to put a staple in this side, put a staple in this side, and see where I'm at on my other so that I can see that it's centered and where I want to. And see how it's gonna look. And if I don't like it, I've only done 4 staples and it'll be easy to just pull them out. I am pulling really snug just because that foam is really long, I mean tall. And you see how I pulled it really close here and here and here and here, because I want it all to pull down. And I do like the placement. These 2 pieces are not the same exact, so it makes it easier, because if they were both facing the same way and exactly the same, I'd want each of them to be perfect. Well, one's going one way, one's going the other way. It's just going to make it a little bit easier to put this on here without having to make sure everything is super straight. So I'm going to just continue all the way around and keep stapling. So I want to show you how I do the corners. I pull this corner up snug, and I'm leaving a little bit of fabric here, and I'm going to, because I'm pulling away from that corner, and I'm going to do the same thing with this one, leaving a little bit of fabric over here and pulling it all forward. I'm going to give this one staple in here, and then I'm going to take all this excess and I'm just going to kind of lay it flat, and I'm making sure that I'm pushing my foam up so that when I staple all these layers together, it's going to still lay nice, and that doesn't bother me. That little bump right there, I'm going to probably put a little staple there, and that one still looks pretty good. It's not doing anything weird. And that way, when I do my corner, it looks pretty good. And I'll continue around and finish the rest. Okay, so I have finished the whole thing. I think it looks pretty good. I did notice that if I struggle with this to make sure that I'm pulling the fabric tight, what I did is just pushed down on the foam so it had a lot of give in it, so that I could staple where I wanted to. And that did make it a lot easier than trying to fight against it. I just pushed that foam down and I could roll it over really easy. All right, and I'm going to go down and try to do my second coat of paint on the stool, and I will put it back together. So I have got my second coat on here, and what I'm going to do next is take a rag and I'm going to pull some of the paint back. The rag is slightly damp, and I'm just going to rub it off in some places so that it shows some wood underneath. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to take that and I'm rubbing just slightly some of these spots just to give it a little bit of wear, and just pulling some off. It's different than using the sanding block. I feel like it also smooths this paint out. So if you have any paint that's real rough, just pulls a little off. And I like that rustic kind of look here. And it's not scratching anything, it's just lightly wearing it off. And I just really like the way that looks. Just slightly pulling some paint off. And I'll probably do that throughout this whole piece, just here and there a little. And like I said, this cloth is just barely damp, but it does a really good job of pulling some of that paint right off. I did not let the second coat dry a ton when I did this, and just feel like it's gonna make this piece look really cool. Just little bits here and there. And then I will show you what it looks like when I'm all done with the whole thing. So here is the finished piece. I decided not to put this big piece of foam in it. When I made the last one, the foam was so thick it just looked wrong. So I'm going to put this on the base and show you what the finished product looks like. So here is the finished little bench. I hope you enjoyed the process. I think it's turned out adorable. I love the vintage tablecloth on the top. Somebody did that beautiful stitching, and now it's going to get a new life. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you'll watch another one of mine. Thanks.